For 3 years after Sarah's death, gloom prevailed. Abraham saw the need for Isaac to marry, but it was obvious to Abraham that he could not find a suitable girl for Isaac among his Canaanite neighbors. Their upbringing and ways of life were too different from that of Isaac. Abraham realized, just as we should recognize, that marriage requires similar values and the union of two people joined with God. Family arranged marriages were common then. Even now, it is estimated that 60% of all marriages in the world are arranged.
Marriage 2 years ago when you were 22 in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Tell us how you found out you were getting married.
It was just all of a sudden. My parents arranged all the things for me and let me know that you are getting married maybe next 3 or 4 days.
So there was no build up to it?
Yeah, they actually letting me know that tomorrow somebody...
While 50 out of every 100 American marriages end in divorce, only 7 out of every 100 arranged marriages end in divorce. Abraham decided to look for a daughter-in-law among the children of his brother Nahor. He called his servant Eliezer, who had been in charge of Abraham's household for a long time, and Abraham made Eliezer promise under oath that he would go to Nahor in Mesopotamia and find a wife for Isaac. Taking 10 camels laden with his master's treasure, Eliezer left on his mission. He arrived safely and stopped his camels near a well outside of the city. It was evening time when the women of the city came to draw water. Eliezer prayed. Eliezer said, "Lord, I am standing by a fountain. The daughters of the city have come to draw water. I need a sign to tell me the right maiden. I will say, 'Lower your pitchers so that I can drink,' and she will say, 'Drink,' and I will also water your camels. That will designate the maiden to be Isaac's wife." Eliezer had not concluded his prayer when he saw Rebekah, the daughter of Abraham's nephew Bethuel, approaching. She was beautiful and was carrying a pitcher on her shoulder. She filled it, and when she came up, Eliezer asked her for a drink. Rebekah answered, "Drink, my master." When he had quenched his thirst, she said, "For your camels I will also draw water until they have enough." She then emptied her pitcher into the trough and filled it until the camels were satisfied. Eliezer felt sure that this was the maiden he was looking for. Without even asking her name, he gave her golden rings and 2 bracelets, and only then he asked who she was. Rebekah answered that she was the granddaughter of Nahor, Abraham's brother. Eliezer, seeing God's divine hand, bowed before God and thanked him for having helped him find the woman Abraham was looking for Isaac's wife. Rebekah hurried home to tell the people about her meeting with Eliezer. Her brother Laban ran out to welcome Eliezer into their home. Soon Abraham's servant told Bethuel and his family about his mission and how God had miraculously helped him to find Rebekah, their daughter, to be the worthy wife for his master's son Isaac. Laban and Bethuel sensed God's hand in this request and replied that they would not hinder it, and they consented to him taking Rebekah with him. The next morning, when Eliezer asked permission to leave with Rebekah, her people were reluctant to let her go immediately. They suggested that she stay for at least a year to prepare for the wedding. The choice was left to Rebekah, and she gave her consent to leave immediately. Rebekah and her maidens mounted the camels with Eliezer and traveled the long distance. In the evening, Isaac went into the fields to meditate. When he looked and saw Eliezer's caravan returning from their long journey, Rebekah saw Isaac, got down from her camel, and asking, "Who was he?" As was the tradition of that day, she took her veil and covered herself. Eliezer related his adventure, and Abraham and Isaac were very thankful to God. Isaac's marriage to Rebekah was celebrated without delay, and Rebekah occupied the tent that had once belonged to Sarah. Again, we see here spiritual intervention into the decision-making process. We see God's hand in the lineage that would lead to the Savior, Jesus Christ.
To preach the acceptable year of the Lord.
Even as modern Christians, our major decisions, our minor decisions, should only come after we have consulted with the Lord. That's the lesson for this week. Have a great week. Bye.